Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another fantastic episode. Yeah, that's high hopes already of Tales of Tamriel. This is episode 68, and we are recording on, I never do this, but I feel like doing it now, on June 7th. Wow, there we go. Much better, I guess. I am your host, Aggelos, and with me this evening, the man running the stream, poking around in Cyrodiil, and hopefully not losing too terribly. That would be...
Already dead.
Are dead. Are you dead? Oh.
I am.
Well, that was dead Asteldian, so there you go.
Not a good start to the experimenting build, but evening all.
You're playing with a new build right now?
Well, same build. I'm trying a different armor style. A bit unusual, sort of medium armor, yet still magic focused. We'll see.
Well, you could probably do it if you got that Undaunted or the Undaunted set, which I never really understood. But it was like medium with all magicka.
Yeah, no, I'm just experimenting. I thought maybe instead of blocking, I can rely on rolling, but also I need enough regen to get away with that. Of course, I got killed so fast, I didn't even get a chance to roll anyway.
I noticed that last night, and we'll talk about that a little later. But you guys will have to remind me. Tell me when during Tales to talk PvP, because I'm gonna forget. So, but there's some good stories in there. All right. And also joining us this evening, well, the guy who pretty much is chain leveling Sorks now. That's Avi Optimal. How are you today, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good. It's nice to take a break from ESO to talk about some ESO before I go play some more ESO. I'm doing very well.
You're not playing ESO right now?
No, no,
Oh.
I'm not. Got to dedicate my one monitor to something.
Oh. I'm doing both, but you know, that's how
I
that
should be.
rolls.
I should be doing both.
I mean, you read the notes. You technically could, I would think, right? I mean, you've already.
I always just have a feel. I always have a feeling you guys are gonna ask me something, and I'm gonna go, "Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I was just in a big old fight." So,
I'm sorry.
try not to do too much multitasking.
I'm busy at the moment. I'm not really sure why, but I can't. No, stop it! Stop it! He's gonna kill me! No! Yeah, no, that's me. That's me right now, actually, because I'm fighting a world boss, and I'm going to die horribly because I should be reading the notes right now, but I'm not. Good thing is I have a good memory, and I know where the next part of the notes is, so we should be all right. I also want to thank the chat room for coming in. There's quite a few people in there now, a couple of them. A lot of our regulars, AJ I see in there, Michael, Tamriel Drifter. Hey, guys. So glad you could actually join us in chat. And before we start this episode, it's time for us to mention our sponsors, which is you guys. And if you haven't listened yet, we were doing a monthly DCN podcast, and I started talking about it. We are the WITF. I looked it up afterwards of podcasts. We are crowdfunded. There we go. All of our shows are brought to you by fans just like you guys. So if you're not currently supporting Dungeon Crawler Network and wish to help us out, you could consider donating to us on our website or joining our Patreon on our Patreon page. There's links to both of these on dungeoncrawlernetwork.com. If you're unable to support us financially but still wish to support us, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube, which has seen a lot of growth. I think I sent out a tweet that we'd gained like 100 different followers in like a week. So that was impressive. And also, you know, subscribing to us on our Twitch page, as well as leaving us an iTunes review, and consider telling a friend about us because we love all of that. Thank you so much to all of those who currently support us, and for everyone listening, we appreciate it so much. All right, before we get into game news, I mentioned in the last episode, and a wonderful listener managed to email me going, you said you were going to talk about the book giveaway on episode 67, and I totally forgot. I mentioned I would talk about it, and then I never talked about it. Well, what we had done was we weren't ready to give it away in episode 67 because I needed to get some votes from people, et cetera, et cetera. We were voting on the winner, but we have picked a winner. That's right. And the winner for the Tales of Tamriel book giveaway is Fishmaker. So congratulations, sir. I will be emailing you on the email that you registered on the account with. So I'll need your shipping information, et cetera, et cetera. So expect an email from me sometime either today or tomorrow. So congratulations, sir. Good job. Excellent. And thank you for everyone who contributed or not contributed, but contributed with your entries. I loved reading them. They were all very good. And stay tuned for more giveaways later. All right, guys, it's game news time. And first up on game news is patch 2.0.10 came out today, or not today. It came out, Monday? Which was an incremental patch that fixed a few issues with quests, gameplay, and adjusted some of the grouping rules within veteran ranks. The size of the patch was approximately 2.6 gigs, so that was pretty much I didn't play for that night, just because it was a large patch for English and French, and just under 1 gig if you were on German. So lucky German people. Oh, I think we lost somebody. Who'd we lose?
Just my life. No, I think Avi disappeared.
Oh, Avi. Okay. All right. Cool. Oh, interesting. All right. Yeah, he was having some issues. I see there's the warning message on here going, hey, there's a problem with the call, but if I can still hear you, then at least we're still live. So
all is good.
I don't know if he's back yet. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, chat room, please tell us if you can continue to hear us, because I'm kind of concerned if we are. Oh, Avi's in there. Cut that out later. All right, so first up on game news, that's what we were talking about. Veteran ranks. Grouped veteran ranked player characters of any level will now receive both experience and loot credit regardless of their contributions. I found this one kind of interesting. Obviously, because before it was if you were greater than 5 veteran ranks, I think it was, you wouldn't be able to get loot. And welcome back, Avi.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
I was kind of worried there for a second. I'm like, oh, is that me? Because obviously my internet's kind of terrible. But Asteldian was still on, so.
I got worried too. I was like, oh man, I better be able to do this show right now.
I just lost the chat room, unfortunately. That kind of sucks. I got to pull it back up. But what do you guys think about that? That one was kind of the major thing for me, was the ability now that all veteran ranks, no matter what veteran rank you are, you'll be able to gain, if you go in with a veteran rank 1 and your VR 14, you'll still get loot and experience.
Yeah, I really like this. This is a good way for players that are simply just trying to play with friends and, don't want to worry about the veteran levels and having to keep up with each other. It's good for people like that to be able to play with each other a little bit more and have more freedom.
Right. Asteldian, how about you? I know you have, with your guild, you're mostly all veteran ranks, but are all of you guys very close in level, or?
Most are actually VR 14. We've got some VR 7s, and obviously we've got alts. It's an overdue change, to be honest, because for DPS it was fine, but if you're like, oh yeah, I'm the healer, it's like, you ain't not going to contribute enough to get any experience here. Because at the time we used to take VR 6s, or even hell, we've taken VR 1s into the AA trials before, back in the day when I was in my other guild, and of course they'd get no loot, no experience or anything for going in there. Because they were too low. Even though they're the healers, they're contributing quite a lot, but not enough to give us any DPS. So it was a crazy restriction, and I'm sure it stood, power 11, whatever. But hey, who cares? Just let people group together in the veteran ranks and let them have fun.
I think a lot of this change might have also been a way of easing in, because we keep talking about the removal of veteran ranks, right? I mean, that's kind of all what we're waiting for. So once we're all 50, we'll all essentially be veteran. We'll no longer need to worry about, this veteran rank, this one, or this one. It'll just all be the same. So, I know, I agree. I like this change. This was probably one of the biggest changes I saw in here that I really liked. There's not really anything else that was really noted other than a few bugs. I don't know. Did you guys see anything of note that was different?
No, that was the only interesting thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the only one I pull out. If you want to check out the notes, you can find it on the official forums, or you can find it on dungeoncrawlernetwork.com. I kind of post it out there for all the people who possibly cannot get to Reddit or ESO on while at work and stuff. So I post them out there as well. Some companies, like I think Asteldian's, smart enough to even block my website, so that kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's a pain.
I know, right? I'm like, really? I'm like, they must block like unregistered or not unregistered, uncategorized sites, because I think I have mine under. It's not great for SEO, search engine optimization, but it helps me get by filters. So I don't know.
Price worth paying, because once it's found.
Yeah. Once you find it, I mean, yeah, people who listen to our show, I highly doubt anyone's going to search our website without having heard the show first, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, so that was that patch 2.0.10. Hopefully, actually, I guess this week is it Tuesday is console launch. So while I'm not super excited for consoles in most regards, other than the fact that I know some of our fans who have been console players since the start, who have been waiting like a year to play. Like I know a couple people who I interact with on our Facebook page and stuff like that, who are only waiting on consoles and have actively been listening to us for a year now. They're finally going to get to play. So I'm very happy for them. But what I'm more excited about is finally being able to hear about new updates coming, because it won't be all console release, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. E3, that's when they're going to tell us.
That's what they're going to tell us. And I doubt that.
Well, they even mentioned it, or one of the guys, isn't he, on the last live in the chat. He said, we're not going to give you, because everyone's always asking the same questions. Said, look, we're not going to sort of blow the excitement of E3 by telling you here and now what's coming up. So There's definitely going to be something being announced at E3.
That's a good thing to hear.
Well, I mean, they kind of already, Bethesda already kind of blew their thing with their Doom trailer and their Fallout 4. So, I don't know. They kind of went a little early there, but I guess they don't care as much, or I don't know.
It makes you think that they're gonna do something else a little bit more. It's not like Bethesda to throw out all of their secrets before such a big event.
Right. Well, E3 coming on. It's going to be kind of exciting because, as we said in our last episode, that ZeniMax is going to be there. So hopefully they talk more than just consoles, because obviously we all know about consoles. If you've been listening to the show or following the show at all, you've either known or been actively waiting for consoles for a long time. So it's not going to come as any surprise. So I'd like to hear something else from E3.
And I also believe that they're doing a live stream of their E3 event.
Okay.
So if you want to watch it, I'm not exactly sure where it is, but if people are interested in watching it, it is possible.
Okay. All right. Next up on news. When patch 2.0.10 hit, there we go. I see chat's working again. Yay. When that hit, we got a whole bunch of new Datamined information. And the first three things I want to talk about were the horse trainings. And what's kind of funny is I also have a note on here, because now they're live in the game. Like, they just went live. And they are the exact price range, Avi, you and I talked about in episode 65.
Yeah, we called it.
Other than the fact I didn't know they were coming in packs of 10.
Yeah, that's a little mix.
I don't know.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I can't imagine buying any less than that, because it's like, okay, say you only need one. Well, why wouldn't you just wait 24 hours or 20 hours and just spend the $250, right?
Yeah.
You're probably going to want to buy it in chunks, so I don't know. I guess. But that's one thing, so that's kind of neat. How do you guys still feel the same about these as you did before? Like, anything change?
I still feel the same way about them. You know, they kept true to the price range, and they also said that your carry capacity can't go more than 60. So they kept it really good. I like it where it is.
Nice. Tamriel Drifter says Asteldian's character is either a Targaryen or really, really old.
Oh, my sexy white hair.
You sexy white hair. Is that your red guard?
It is, yeah.
I remember you sent a picture a while ago to add to one of your builds, and I'm looking at this red guard with this white hair. I'm like, this is just disconcerting, really.
An old veteran.
An old veteran.
No one wants to
Yes.
trust a young 20-year-old looking tank turning up there. Crap.
That's one of those things that I'll mention. It's off topic, but it's one of the things that really annoys me about a lot of Japanese games, like a lot of the new Final Fantasies and stuff like that. Because all their characters are like kids. They're like, maybe when I was a kid, I didn't care as much, but they're like 15, 16-year-old. I'm like, come on. That's why I like Final Fantasy 12. Bosch was like 33. I'm like, this is great. I like him. Well, that's what I thought anyway. All right. Next up, they did release a couple of other things, including a few new costumes, including the evening dress and winter scout. So in PvP, we'll see a nice little mix between the wedding dress and the evening dress. So, for those who like to walk around in the little black dress instead of the white gown in Cyrodiil, there you go. Hides bloodstains a little better. And then they also added the winter scout costume. Obviously, costumes. Did you guys see these?
Yeah, they're really cool.
I see the. I don't know. I guess maybe I'll have to see it in game before I can really make an impression on the evening dress, because it kind of looks like a little cinematic based on the picture. Because obviously everything's burning and it kind of has that creepy look to it.
It reminds me of a necromancer.
I could see that. Oh, or a vampire.
Yeah, a vampire too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. Your female vampire characters are if your male characters want to run around in the evening gown. There you go. The Winter Scout outfit I like. It's not much different than I think, when I first saw it, I'm like, it kind of just looks like the armor we already have in game. But then I thought about it and went, I really can't think of anything that looks exactly like it. I see things that look similar, just not exactly. So I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't see him. Actually,
Okay.
I did, but I can't remember now. I remember seeing the evening gown that you mentioned it,
Right.
but I think the last thing I really paid attention to was the cinematic ones they were talking about bringing out.
Right. Yeah, they announced that in one of the last week's ESO Live. They talked about bringing those out. So that's kind of neat, but they're kind of, we don't know when they're coming out. That was just, they teased us with some concept art and said, here you go. Just to tease you a little bit about it. But these ones are indeed coming out. The final two items, which tend to be everyone's favorite, are mounts and pets. There's one mount and one pet coming out. The pet is a purple daggerback, which is a pig. So it's like a pig, but it looks like the boars you've seen in Craglorn. So it's kind of got like purple eyes, a little bit of a purple glow from being too close to the spell scar, I guess. So that's one thing. And the other one is Frostmere, which is a horse made out of ice. Thoughts?
Love it.
Avi, we were talking before the show, and you were like, ah.
I love Frostmare. I remember when we saw the burning Inferno horse, and I thought, man, only if they had a frost one. I've always been more with the blue than the red, so I'm loving it. I can't wait to pick it up.
So now we know you're going to be picking this up when it comes out.
Yeah, it'll be the first amount that I spend, which I'm guessing it's probably going to be 2,500 crowns. So.
I was going to say it's probably going to be about that much.
Yeah, which is all right.
Well, you guys want to speculate on prices for these a while? Obviously, Frostmere, I think we can all probably agree on 2.5K because it's a special horse.
And
Yeah,
the
without doubt.
Daggerback, I'm guessing it's probably going to be the same price as the Scamp. I think it was like 900, I believe, or 700.
I'm pulling up the thing right now because I kind of want to double check because I can't remember how much. Oh,
New
great.
for the new Bane and then the Scamp.
Unfortunately, if you've already purchased it, which I've purchased everything in the Crown store, you can't see the price anymore. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 700. So it's
700?
900 for the horse, 900 for the horse, 700 for the
For the
cooler
mini
looking pets, then 400 for like the dogs and the cat.
Yeah. I don't know though. It's a pig. Do you?
Oh, I
I mean, the
know, I
Fennec
know.
Fox went for 700 because it was adorable and I had to have it. I
But
don't
the
think.
Banekin went for 700 too, and that thing's pretty cool.
I think the Banekin went because of the theming, because it did look cool. And like, if you were playing a sorcerer with a pet build, having the Banekin out was just something to do. I mean, I do on my Sork right now, who has like all the pets out. The everything. She also has out the Banekin pet, just because it's like, well, why not? We're going full Daedric here. Um, that's what I don't know. Like, I don't find the pig. I don't think I don't think the pig is cute enough to warrant the 700. I think it kind of would fall closer to where the dog prices and everything were. I could be
You think
wrong.
so? Even with the like glowing purple eyes and
I don't, because it's a pig. Maybe
Oh,
maybe the reason why they're trying to add this is because of the pig codes that people try to keep getting on ESO Live and stuff. But I don't foresee it going.
glowing eyes. It's going to put a 300 premium on there, definitely. So,
Glowing eyes, right?
yeah, so it'll be 700 instead of 400 for that luxury.
um, we of course then also have the two costumes. They're solo costumes, so I'm probably gonna guess around the same price as what the blacksmith and the cook outfit were, which was what, I think 450.
I can't remember.
I want to say
400 or-
450.
Is it 450? I was
It's somewhere in the 400 range. It wasn't much more than that. Now the packs were like 700 if I remember correctly, but yeah, there's not multiples. I don't see why they would do multiple of these. So
So they did release that Ordinator, the Tribunal ones, for 1,000, which is 300 more than all of the other.
It's true. It is very true. But I think
they're pricing everything very strangely right now.
They're not consistent. They price based on what they think will sell. That's why Guar, all the horses were 700 or 9. I think they were like 900, and all the Guar were 12 because they're like, it's a mount, right? It's just a mount. But they knew it would sell better. And chat room, a Both Assassin. Hey, no, we're playing on PC at the moment, sir, not Xbox. Bigglesworth Unlimited, blue horses and purple pigs. Still no pink unicorns though. Sad face. As soon as they can find a Daedric prince to attribute it to, I'm sure we'll see one. Right? Stupid iPad. Yeah. Well. I was trying to watch our show, and my iPad, because I'm not touching it, keeps going offline. So it's like, great, awesome. All right, so there we go, guys. Those are speculations for prices. So we should probably, I imagine we'll see the costumes and everything around the same time. I'm surprised that the horse stuff is out already, but I mean it is, so that's kind of cool. All right, let's see here. Next little bit of news. They did some more data mining for a rare recipe now that is likely the non-Crown Store equivalent for the experience booster called a Psijic Ambrosia. If you look at the image from the Psijic Ambrosia, which I will put in the notes, it's a drink that you gain 50% experience point bonus from all sources for 30 minutes. The timer pauses when you are offline and resumes when you return. This bonus is not compatible with other foods or drinks. It doesn't say anything about champion points, but 30 minutes and you can craft it. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts?
I'm still looking.
You're still
for
looking?
it.
All right.
I'd have thought everyone would be relieved for that. I know somebody's been complaining. You can't please everyone. Some have already complained that it's weaker than the Crown one. They promised it wouldn't be.
The one that was in the store, I think, last 2 hours or something like that. I think that was the difference.
Yeah,
exactly.
How long does the other one last?
I think the Crown Store one, from what we've seen previously, was 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's half an hour if they're crafted. But as someone pointed out, crafting you make 4 at a time, so you still get 2 hours worth. It's just you get them in half an hour chunks, which is actually better because if you take a 2 hour one, you're kind of stuck. You don't want to stop to do a bit of crafting or pick up a plant because you think, oh, I've got to use my 2 hours. Whereas half an hour, after half an hour grinding, whatever you go,
Oh,
right, I
yeah.
can go do my thing.
Yeah,
So I actually prefer the idea of getting 4 half-an-hour ones rather than 1 2 hour one.
it's a good point. I like that.
And with pricing, like, let me see. On here, they showed a Sigic Ambrosia recipe, which looks like it's going to be part of fragments. Like, you have to find, like, Dwemer pages to make it. I'm trying to find the exact thing. That's not the one I need. Why? Why did they do this? I just wanted to find out exactly what it was, and now I'm pulling up the same one 900 times. Anyway, what I wanted to pull up was the ingredients, which, based on what I was seeing earlier, the ingredients actually were something along the lines of all the purple recipes like that you need. Oh, there we go.
And fish.
Fish, yeah,
I
fish.
think fish was involved.
Fish is involved. No, actually, it was all the purple stuff, like all the purple items you get for crafting. It took all of them. So I don't know. I think that's one of those things where this would be an expensive thing to craft. Would people do it? I don't know. I mean, if I knew I was gonna be doing a bunch of farming, which I don't know where you would want to do this at, because we all know that ZOS pretty much nerfed all of the grind locations. But if another one were found to grind champion points, would I craft a bunch to use? Yeah, I probably would. I mean, you can craft them, so that's always a plus. Chat room, give us your thoughts while we're doing this. What do you think on these experience boost? Because obviously they changed it, or at least the wording right now has changed, so they don't say anything about it not working on champion points. So it actually might work on champion points. We don't know.
Well, if it does, that make people happy because it's not pay to win anymore. Crafted ones give you non-champ, and the crafted ones give you champ points. So there's no reason to hate it, other than the fact you don't want to pay gold to buy them.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
this is something along the lines of I'll mention this because I've been trying my best to get into Lotro recently. I've been on a big Lord of the Rings kick. Just I was listening to Audible, which don't support us, but I was still listening to Audible. I was listening to like Children of Horin because I love that book, and then I followed it up with I'm listening to The Hobbit again. So I'm kind of on this whole Middle Earth kick. So I'm trying to jump into it, and they actually sell character boosts and stuff like that in their free to play shop that really feels pay to win. Now I don't know much about this shop yet. I don't know. They're showing things like these character stats or whatever they are, character boost stats like item boost stats and stuff like that for legendary items, which would make it pay to win if it were the only way to. Well, I still think it's kind of pay to win, but I don't know if they're available in game. But to me, if it's available in game, at least it I still think it's pay to win, but if you can farm them in game, it's a little less and a little bit more bearable, I guess. A lot of games that are pure pay to win. I'm trying to think of one in particular, like Maple Story. My wife was telling me about Maple Story. You can boost your item levels and like boost them up using this crafting, but there's a good chance you can destroy it. Well, there is a crown or not crown store item, but whatever their cash shop is, that is like an item insurance that you can buy with money to make sure they don't break. Like, and it's to the point where the only way you can actually make your items to the highest tier is by using these, because otherwise it's like a 1% chance of success and you've already spent all this money to upgrade your item. So I don't know. Like, I feel like this could be kind of pay to win, if you will, with champion points, but if they're craftable, it's, I don't know. Is it worth it?
The idea is that pay to win ones don't give champ points, and only the crafting ones do. I can see where it's still a bit iffy because people aren't a big fan of the fact that, well, those who've got loads of gold or whatever can go ahead and buy a load, and those who don't
Yeah, but
screwed.
it's of that notion. Same thing with that I didn't like with the other thing was the motifs. They were still available in game. Thankfully, they made them crappy expensive, like $50 expensive. Going, if you really don't want to farm the gold, and you really don't want to farm the the item to try to find it, you can just buy it. I don't know. I guess it's one of those things with this. The purple crafting items, if I remember correctly, the only way you can get those purple crafting items are via the mails you get. Am I right? Am I wrong?
And the dailies.
Okay. So other than dailies, which is a chance, the same thing with the mails, there's not like a place you can farm them, or like I don't even think there's like a chance to find them in jugs or something. So it's not even like a rare item. It's just they don't exist other than the mails you get once a day are dailies.
Yeah, so you don't get them too often.
So yeah, I don't know. That could drive their price up pretty high, especially if they do affect champion points. I can tell you right now, I'll be making them so I could sell them. I don't really care too much about actually getting too many champion points because I've already hit the point now where the biggest benefit I already have, right? Because I've already gotten all of pretty much everything has at least a couple points in them. I'm kind of very diversified in things that I know will help my character. So now everything is like only 0.1%. So I got the biggest bang for my buck already on almost everything. So I'm not really as concerned. But I don't know. Tamriel Drifter says experience boost may extend the life of the game because it encourages alts. Clan of Orphan says experience boosts are not a big deal. They are time sink removers, people who do not want to enjoy our story content. For the grinders, and they would grind anyway, so if you look at it in that light. RK, RV, I don't know, Riv Carry. Sorry, I just butchered your name. In my opinion, if it's craftable, I don't mind it in the game. Yeah, that's my thing. I'm kind of worried about things that are not available in the game somewhere else, so that's okay.
The only thing I will say that I'm a little concerned about, why can't I get out of this, right, is Lord of the Rings, since you mentioned it. One of the big complaints about that one is they just make the grind for stuff so tedious that it's pretty much saying, hey, look, you can get it in the game if you don't want to spend money on it, but it is so lame to do so that you really should just spend the money.
Right.
And I don't want that happening here. And as you say, potentially by saying it's all purple stuff and you don't get many of them, etc., it's definitely a risk.
Right. Yeah, is it to the point where I haven't got any, so I can't make any, so therefore it's just easier to buy them? Yeah. I know some other games that do that as well, where it's, oh, you can get it in game, but the drop chance is like 0.00001%, or you could just buy it. At least with the crafting motifs, yeah, they were rare, but they weren't that rare that they were super expensive. Like, what is Daedric going for right now? Like 30,000?
Yeah, around there.
Even so, 30,000. If you're a new player, that seems like a lot, but it's really not that much money.
Speak for yourself. Some of us poor people.
Well, I'm sitting on about 500,000 at the moment.
Yeah, I know people on almost 1 million. It's like bastards.
Yeah, but I need to buy Ravager sets, so as soon as I can find people, that's all gone. But it's 30,000 in the long scheme of things isn't that much, because if you do the dailies in Cyrodiil, for instance, I think they're maxed out gold. So what is that, 601 gold or something like that? I think that's the max. You see it on the high end, like the VR14 crafting writs, and it doesn't take long to get that much money. I'm sitting on 10,000 right now on my alt, and I actually just dumped all the money on her, so she got 10,000 from me just playing this weekend. So within 2 days, she's got 10,000. I haven't even been playing her super heavily or not even very efficiently, just been doing whatever. It's not terribly hard to make money in the game. So I didn't really find as much of an issue, because even if you didn't want to grind it, like the Dwemer ones, to be honest, they had a very high drop chance. The thing that was kind of grindy for them was the fact that you need to collect all the pieces. So yeah, you might pick up one every single run, but is it the one you need? Probably not. So that was, I think, a lot of their draw was just because there wasn't, that many of them. But yeah, that's where we're at now. All right. Anyone else have anything they want to say about the experience potion before we move on and I get killed by this wolf?
Nope.
No.
All right. Next up, Elder Scrolls Tamriel Unlimited has released the ESOTU Community Ambassador Program. For those who don't know what that is, it is a little program that they're highlighting various people who are very active in the community, and have something to show. And I guess they give them a special, little forum thing and everything of that nature, place for them to go and help answer questions. Did you guys see this?
No.
Yeah, I read it a little bit. It's a cool little thing to help support the community and bring everyone together.
I know a lot of other games that actually do something very similar. Rift had this, their ambassador program. It's kind of one of these things where when you look at these people, because they're given a special title or an avatar on the forums or something along those lines, they're meant to be out there to kind of, I almost want to say, do the developers' jobs, if you will.
I do remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember reading the Rift forums, and like developers and community managers very rarely, if ever, posted. But there was always this one guy who would post constantly, and I'm looking at him going, is he, getting paid? But it turned out he wasn't. He was just really into the game, and therefore did a lot on the forums. So they marked him. They gave him kind of a little bit of mod powers, not super mod, but mod-y, and he was able to do a bunch of this stuff. But in reality, it didn't. I feel like it's a nice thing for them to do, obviously, but maybe I'm just being cynical, and it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, the developers then, don't have to do anything.
Well, hopefully they can spend their time doing more stuff with the game than answering
you mean
questions.
Like waiting 8 months for console release?
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it is neat. And they picked a couple people already. Obviously, I barely know anyone on this list with the exception of Dominoid, who does a lot of the data mining, which is kind of funny that they would want him on there, because a lot of developers don't like data mining because it kind of gives away what they're working on. But yeah, it is what it is, right? Still very cool. How this will even work is it's all community driven, so people need to be nominated for this, and the people who nominate are actually other players. So if you have somebody you want to nominate for this, go ahead and send them an email at community@elderscrolls.com. Still it is neat, but until I see a little bit more about what these guys get to do, other than maybe have like their post highlighted on the forums, I don't know. I don't really know how special it is, or if there's even any perks to doing it, other than like we do this community stuff because we like doing it anyway, not for any other real reason. So still very cool. There's quite a few of them out there. All right, let's see here. Two more things on the list I had to look at. Account copies. For anyone who signed up for the account copy of your PC version to a console version, which I did that too, even though I'm still playing on PC, but it was $20 and I figured, what the heck, right? If I get a PS4, then my account's over there. So I bought that. But that finished on the 1st. So as of the 1st, whatever your account looked like at the time, is what it will look like on the consoles. So I'll at least have my VR14 character and a few of my other kind of mid-levels if I ever decide to, play on console. Which I don't even have a PS4, but like I said, it was $20 and it was a limited offer, so I did it anyway, right?
And just to throw it out there, I believe you can start your download on the PS3 and Xbox One now.
Did they? I know I was seeing something
I
about
saw
that.
that post. I saw it posted all over Twitter, and a couple people posting pictures of their PlayStation 4 screen downloading the game. So yeah, it's looking like you're able to go and get it ready. So when it releases on Tuesday, you can just jump right in the game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And I just got kicked out of the game. I don't even know why that happened. Finally, it ain't easy being cheesy, unless you're ZeniMax and you do the ESOTU with friends video. Did you like that? I'm gonna get sued by Cheetos now, but I don't even care. That
video is pretty funny. Yeah.
Did you like it?
Is that the
Tony,
one that everyone seems to hate?
yeah, it's so
Tony
console
one.
friendly. It's so console friendly. It's just like all those. It reminds me of all those commercials we're seeing for Sony and PlayStation right now, where they got all the people fighting each other and they're singing at the same time while it's happening. One of those kind of commercials.
I cannot pronounce your name, sir, but I kind of agree with you. It's PS Gamer, and a bunch of letters before that. He says, I hate the account copy because now everyone's going to have VR 14 when people are still level 1, especially the people who were, waiting on console. Yeah. Now, I have mixed feelings because I know ZeniMax more or less offered this account copy to console players, because when console players were like, where's our game that you said was going to be out only a little bit after PC version, because that was the original plan. They were originally going to announce or come out together, right? And then that didn't happen. Actually, I just realized, I'll continue my rant here in a second after my first rant. I was in Eastmarch. I think I just got rolled back. Huh.
Wait.
Yeah, because I was going through a one of these little delves, and I had gotten the Sky Shard, and I was kind of walking away, and then all of a sudden I got kicked out of the game, and I logged back in, and I was outside the dungeon. I was like, well, that's interesting, and I just looked. I don't have the Sky Shard anymore. It's still in there. I got rolled back a couple of minutes.
Oh wow,
interesting. Anyway, finishing my thought. I think a lot of the account copy was originally done because ZeniMax got quite a bit of hate from console players, because originally they had made these promises that console would be out around the same time PC would, and then it's been almost a year, right? And so they were like, hey, if you buy it on PC, we'll let you. And this I kind of thought was dumb. I kind of wish they would have done something like free, but they're like, you buy it on PC, we'll let you play now, and then for only $20 we'll copy everything over. Well, okay, but I don't know, it seems kind of weird why they would even do that. And a lot of the console players who don't even have a PC that can run it were kind of left out of that deal. So I don't know, I have mixed feelings about it. Do you guys agree? Did you like the character copy?
It didn't really bother me. Eventually, everybody's gonna kind of catch back up with each other, but
if you're not a PvPer, yeah, it's fine. Everyone else, that's a bit of a pain, because they're gonna have a lot of champ points,
right?
So you're gonna be very behind forever.
Yeah, I know that was kind of an issue, but it does kind of suck for a lot of the PvP players. Bigglesworth saying, wow, rollback still. Did you actually experience rollbacks before Bigglesworth? Like, this is the first one I've happened since early launch. So, yeah. And Fearsome Pigeon goes, it's for people like me that became a PC gamer to play it. Yeah. So you have to pay $60 and then 20. Toxic Patriot, that's only for people who are doing the account copy of the game. Not ZeniMax offered an ability for people to copy their a game account to a console of their choice for $20 early on. This was something they offered. Oh my goodness, how long ago did they offer this? It was very early.
It was June last year, wasn't it?
June of last year. They're like, anytime, yeah, if you buy it within now, and like it was only like a very short window of opportunity to do this. It wasn't even that long. It was like a 2-month window or something going. If you buy the game between here, or if you had the game between here and whatever date they gave, an arbitrary date, you'll be given the option for $20 to copy your account to the game. For console players, you don't have to pay the extra 20. That's just for PC players who go, I feel like playing on the console now. Their accounts will be copied. It's not like a port. So they will have both a PC version and a console version, but it stopped as of the 1st. So the accounts were copied as of June 1st. So my account, everything that was on it as of the 1st, literally got copied and thrown over to console. Now, I've been playing for several days since that, obviously, and any progress I've made since that will not reflect. They are now 2 completely different accounts. So, people going, they're a company generating money is the idea, right? Well, yeah. I mean, it is now a buy-to-play type thing, and it's one of the ways for them to make money, obviously. But anyway, we were talking video here, console video. Like I can't believe you didn't see it. It's funny, but it's so cheesy. You feel embarrassed watching it, and you feel embarrassed for the people on it. Like that's how I feel about it by watching. I go, oh dear. Oh dear.
Well, I sort of looked at it with another sound on, so I kind of missed the real cheese of it.
It's really bad. Like chat room, tell me if you've seen this video, did you find it cheesy? Like I was embarrassed watching it. Like I was in my office at work alone, and I could feel myself blushing. I was that embarrassed. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Answer me this: were they fighting a Netch in the beginning of it?
Yeah, they made fighting a Netch like a raid boss. They're like, get over here, we need your help. We can't take this on by ourselves.
Where you at, Tony? He's over there fishing.
Yeah,
No,
it's
maybe it was the developers playing.
It might have been, I don't know, but it was just funny. They made like the thing out to be like, oh no, you got to get over here. We can't do this without you. And they're fighting a Netch. It's like
something you could one shot with a wrecking blow.
Yeah,
it could have at least been the what's it called guy from the Fungal Grotto. Is it Fungal Grotto?
Oh,
that botnet. So at least it's a group.
No, this was one out in Deshaun. Like I could point out exactly where they were in Deshaun.
Yeah, it's where I found them for the achievement.
Yeah, exactly. By yourself. It's not. Yeah, they made it. They hyped it up. That I mean, there's obviously situations in the game that would call for that kind of, hey, get over here. We need you. We can't do this by ourselves. But they picked the cheesiest ways of doing it. Like, it's not like they were doing a DSA or a trial or a vet dungeon. They were out in the open world questing and fighting what would be like equivalent to a veteran mob in other games. So it's harder, but not terribly hard. I don't think it's has anything to do with any harder than anything else in the game. But
one thing I don't like about it is that they finally went into a dungeon and they were going to kill a boss, and they show the big dwarven spider boss. And I'm thinking in my mind, oh, why would you spoil one of the coolest looking bosses in the game?
Because it's one of the coolest looking bosses.
I know,
in the
it's
game.
like I wouldn't have spoiled it like that. I remember the first time seeing that boss, how excited I got, and it's like, oh, they just threw it in there like nothing.
Yeah, when it came down from the ceiling, you're like, what the?
Yeah, it's so epic. And
I agree with that. It was a really cool scene. I mean, that's probably one of the reasons why they wanted to highlight it, because it was such a cool scene. But yeah, a lot of the stuff that they were showing off, and you know, this is nothing against. I know I'm probably gonna get hate mail from consoles going, it's a console. No, it's nothing against consoles. It was just a cheesy video completely. So don't send all your hate mail somewhere else. And Toxic Patriot asks, you had to buy it by June of last year to qualify for the PC copy. Yes. For the PC copy alone, if you wanted your account copy, you had to buy it by like June or something. It was a very short window of time. It was last year they offered this. And for any account that had bought it up to a certain date, which I think it was like by the end of June or something like that of last year, it was really, really, really weird.
especially before the time when it was supposed to originally come out on consoles.
Yes.
Bought it by the release date.
Exactly. That you got it exactly. Yeah, because they were supposed to have it out by June of last year, and when they're like, yeah, it's not gonna happen, they're like, okay, well, if you bought the game on PC prior to the console release, we'll let you copy anything you do over. That way, you don't waste a year of your time waiting. Bigglesworth goes, I just watched the commercial. I wonder if any of those people actually play the game. Yeah, that's how bad it felt. To Zos, we send our hate mail. There you go. I like it. AJ, don't even fool me. AJ's trolling me in chat by going, the only reason why I bought the game was because of that video. Oh my.
Must be just like them.
You're just like them, AJ. That's it. From now on, that's all I'm ever gonna think about you. That's all.
I'm calling you Tony from now on.
I'm calling you Tony from now on. Yeah, AJ in chat is now Tony. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. I'm very excited to see a lot of people in chat right now too, off the top. Because with consoles coming out, a lot of people are very excited about the game, so it's really nice to see that. So welcome to the community, guys. Really glad to have you.
They obviously saw the advert.
They all saw that advert and they were like, well, obviously, if this is the gameplay, then we're gonna do it, right? I know. It's just
I can't wait to team up and fight that Netch.
I'm not hardcore enough for that. I'm not hardcore enough for that Netch.
Call out in zone for some help.
Call out in zone chat. I need help playing this Netch. Yup. That's what it felt like. I don't know. It was just so cheesy of a video. I felt embarrassed for the people in it going, I hope you do not show this like on a portfolio. If they were like actual actors or something like that, I would not show this on like a portfolio for any acting job, because they're like, you are obviously like C-list actor at best. I've seen better acting in a porno. So
gotta start somewhere.
I guess.
It's only up from there. They can go for a sci-fi movie.
Oh yeah, but it's not even like the high-end sci-fi. It's like the Sci-Fi Channel movies. They're independent ones. Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. That was what they released. I know they did a series of those videos, but that one was obviously so cheesy I had to mention it just because it was so cheesy. So after the show, you guys want to group up and try to take out that Netch?
I don't know if I'm level. I'm only VR7.
Oh no, you can't come. We need you to be VR14 and in all legendary gear to handle that Netch.
Exactly.
Yeah, can't do it. You have to have an optimal build too. So none of the stamina builds. It has to be the pure DPS powerhouse of Resto Destro. That's it.
The best of the best.
Absolutely. The only way you'll do it. It's tuned that hard. All right, enough making fun of that video. Toxic Patriot, are you playing on console when it comes out? I'm PC player completely. I've been playing on the PC for years now. I did buy it on console. If I ever do buy a PS4, will I play it on console? I will probably play it on console from time to time if I just feel like hanging out and playing around on the PC side or a PS4 side. Yeah. I don't have a PS4 currently, but I have the account copy. But by the time I buy one, you guys will probably all be VR14s, so don't feel bad. I don't know. Asteldian and Avi, are either of you planning on playing on console?
Yeah.
No.
I don't. I'm in the same boat as you. I don't own one, but I'm planning on doing it soon enough.
Did you buy the copy?
Nope. If you remember, I haven't been playing this game long enough to do that.
That's true. You didn't qualify. That's right.
Yeah, I'm a little newer to this game.
That's right. Yeah, you only started in December, right?
Well, yeah, I played in beta, but I left. So
you should Xbox One. My wife, she's interested in Xbox One, but I've been a PS4 person, so.
Yeah, get PlayStation, so when I get it, we can game together.
Yeah. When I will eventually buy one, it's just I've actually been saving money because unfortunately, everything I do now that obviously I've been married for several years now, but we're both gamers, so obviously anytime I need to do a PC upgrade, I have to do it twice because I have to do one for Thais as well. So I've been saving money to get parts for building new PCs for both of us. I'll probably do that early next year. So, but also with the little Nordling coming, I don't know how much of that money is going to get eaten up.
Well, last console I had was the GameCube, I think. So I don't
Oh,
think I'll
wow.
be jumping on.
I haven't had it. I bought a PS3. I think I bought it for like Final Fantasy 13 or something like that. It wasn't anything super great. But that was the last console I've really bought. My wife was bigger into consoles than I was. I've had a PC since '98. I've been a PC gamer since '98. So, all right.
I have a Super Nintendo Entertainment System hooked up right next to me that still works.
Clan of
I have
Orphan.
I have a Nintendo sitting around somewhere.
The
Yeah,
original
I got
Nintendo?
yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Hell
I got
yes.
that too. I got that too.
I might
Super
have
Nin-
it in a box somewhere.
I'm a Super Nintendo. Well, all you need is the Zelda game on that, and away
Hey,
you
Street
go.
Fighter. Street Fighter 2,
Fighter.
man.
Nice.
Just
Clan
saying.
of Orphan says wife equals hand-me-down upgrade rigs. You know, if I could trick her into it, that would be awesome. But if she saw me building one, she'd be like, "Where's mine?" and wouldn't leave me alone until I did it. So
Yeah,
kind
I
of
know that. I know how that feels.
SOL on that. No, I'll make her a PC because she probably will listen to the show and I'll get beat up later. So, next week I won't be able to speak properly because like my lip will be busted open. What do you mean you're not getting me a PC? Yeah.
Yeah, it gets expensive quick. It's like I just get a 970, and oh, you need one as well. Bugger.
New case to Fuller. Just get her a new case, rip all her parts out, and put it in that one. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I like that.
Cunning plan.
Obi in chat says he still has a ColecoVision. Obi, I'm gonna say
Wow.
this, my friend. I love you, but I wasn't even alive when ColecoVision came out.
No, me neither.
Like I was born when the year the original Nintendo came out. So yeah. All right. That's it for news, guys. Let's go ahead and we're going to move right on into Tales, where we talk about what we've been doing this week, obviously. And I have an exciting stuff, but I'm not going to go first. I'm going to go last. So, Asteldian, why don't you go first?
Okay, yeah, it's been more of the same really. Took a few more guildies into Vet DSA. Ran through that pretty well. Got that completed. Yet again, didn't get a master anything.
Oh.
And I know you got a sword, so shut up. Although I do have one of those, but it wasn't a decent trait. So, oh well. Other than that, of course, did AA in Hellra and got the time trial achievements for that. So that was a good improvement for the guild. Getting them done fast enough to get the achievements, so people were happy there. And we did stick our heads in Sanctum on Friday. We went in there pretty unprepared because it's kind of fun like that. So aside from the raid leader having seen a little video of Manticora, the rest of us were completely oblivious. So we just went in there and saw how it went. As you can imagine, it didn't go too well.
Yeah.
A lot of death, but it was definitely a good experience, and it let everyone know what we need to aim for. The good thing is DPS wasn't necessarily the struggle. It's just getting people to learn what stacking means. People tend to be a bit all over the place. It's like you need to stack. No, stacking is here on this person, not over there by 10 meters away, right here.
Right here. Wear them like underwear.
Yeah. So, but it was definitely a lot of fun doing that.
Nice.
Other than that, those were the main things. I didn't even do much PvP this week actually.
Oh.
So, but that was pretty much my week. Pretty quiet.
Nice. Avi, sir.
All right, so I have a little bit of a different week since I took a short little break from ESO. I attempted to take a break from ESO, but that only lasted about 7 hours or so. It's hard to get away from. But I got my Sorcerer to level 25, and I'm just loving the Sorcerer right now. The fast streaking, the lightning destruction magic. It's just so fun. I'm just loving every part of it. Besides that, I started another new character. I deleted my Redguard Nightblade because I decided I really wanted to go Imperial with him. So I deleted him. I started the Imperial Nightblade. He's only level 1. I want to run him through Cold Harbor, so he's stuck at level 1 right now. Besides that, I got into a little PvP and I didn't crash, which was nice. I didn't go fight anybody, but I went down to one of the little towns and started doing the little quests there
Right.
just to try to solo up my VR9 because it's hard for me to find things to do now solo to level them up. And besides that, I did something kind of different that I wanted to bring up. I was bored one day and I wanted to do a little comparison of Elder Scrolls Online and Skyrim. So I hooked up Skyrim to my TV and I got an ESO and I took both places to the Rift and I went to like Riften and Iverstead, and I just went all around the map and was like comparing places, kind of before and after. It was just something I've always wanted to do, and I went, all right, I'm gonna do it right now, and I had so much fun doing that. It's so awesome. ESO is much more of a bright, friendlier place than Skyrim in the fourth era, that's for sure. But
Yeah,
that's pretty
fourth
much.
era Skyrim. They haven't been upkeeping. They haven't paid the maid in a while.
Oh, I don't know what's going on over there. It's a mess. You know, in this game, you know, a quarter of Riften's walls is blown up, and it still looks nicer than Riften over in Skyrim.
Right.
But you know that it was so fun to do, and I'm planning on doing it again and checking out Oblivion with Cyrodiil if I can ever get deep enough into PvP zones to actually see the White Gold Tower and see other places like that.
Right.
So yeah, that's pretty much been my weekend game this week. Trying to do some different things in game, and right now I'm really just working on getting my Sorcerer to VR1, and then after that I'll move on to my Nightblade, and that's been my week.
Nice. My week has been surprisingly busy in Elder Scrolls Online. My wife hasn't been here for most of the week, so I've been playing a lot of video games because I've been finishing up a lot of stuff around the house for the little Nordling coming, and now it's pretty much everything is done other than waiting for the carpet to come in for the nursery. And once that's in, I can start putting everything together. So we're kind of in a lull at this moment. And this weekend's been kind of cloudy and whatnot, so I really didn't do a lot outside. Cleaned up our pool a little bit, et cetera, et cetera. Nothing too huge. So I had a lot of game time this week, and the first thing I've been working on is my alt sorcerer, the one that I have been dubbing Mini Thais because she looks just like her now. I got her all the way from level 26 to 35, which that's like 10 levels or close to it. Actually, I think as of right now, I am 36. So I've gained 10 levels. Ha!
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm really working on her, and I think that's been doing I'm really confused. Sorcerers out there, what do I pick? I got to morph my Dark Exchange. Dark Deal converts magicka into health and stamina. Well, that doesn't sound like that sounds like something you'd want to use for a stamina build. And the other one is drains less stamina. Restore health and
you want the
magic.
drains less stamina one if you're the
Yeah, because I'm a caster.
magicka.
Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense. All right, cool. Wasn't really sure what I was supposed to do there for a second because I've not really played Sorcerer for this long. So now my number 1 and 2 characters, which is really funny. I was talking about this prior. My highest level character is obviously my Nord Templar. He's VR 14. He's awesome. He's sexy. I love him. But now my second and third highest characters are level 36 and 31 respectively, and both of them are Sorks. So I've been playing a lot with the Sorks, and I've been liking them. I finally finished all of Shadowfen on this girl, so I've kind of got a little bit of I don't know, the drive to play her more because I'm in Eastmarch and I love Eastmarch. So I've got like the entire northern section done, like the main city and the top 2 sections, the lower Yorgrim and the Voljar's Meadery. I finished those, and now I'm kind of heading down towards the Fort Morvensker, which obviously in Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim is nothing but like a crumbling mess. and down into the Kynes Grove. So I'm kind of making my way south. But I've been having a lot of fun with her, like a lot of fun. And hey, Ark, welcome to chat. Good to have you with, buddy. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with her lately, like a lot of fun. And she's something I don't normally play, which is a pure caster. I mean, 7 of 7 light armor, Destro, and Resto staff, even though she's mostly using Destro. I was kind of going with a pet build. I don't know if that'll be my final build or not. I haven't really decided that yet. But as of right now, I sort of intentionally gimped myself by taking away all my hard-hitting abilities, and I'm leveling all the others. So she's not as powerful as she was before, but she still packs a little bit. So that's definitely she's moving along. But now prior to the show, we were talking about leveling up, and I have a lot of tunes right now that I want to get to VR1. All my alts, because I have all my character slots are full, but I have a Daggerfall Covenant character who I will not level because I have him to level with Thais. And I have a Khajiit Nightblade on Aldmari Dominion. Again, that's my Thais leveling character, even though she still has to level on her main. So I won't touch them. But the other 5 characters, my 2 Sorks, I have a Dragon Knight, Khajiit, and I have my Nightblade that I've been doing my Let's Play videos with. I really should do another one with her. But I've been so concentrating on this Sork that I haven't actually been doing it. But I'm to the point now where I have my Imperial Templar and my Khajiit Dragon Knight. Both are level 27 and both got the quest Discover the Entrance to Shadowfen. Ugh. I'm thinking about taking them into the PvP campaign to level them. Anyone in chat or anyone listening to the show, leave me a comment on below. Let me know how leveling in PvP is. I obviously know leveling in PvP is sporadic, because if you can't find anyone, you're not doing anything. But if you're taking keeps and fighting people, obviously you're getting experience. I just don't think I want to level through Shadowfen again. I mean, the quests are all great in Elder Scrolls Online. Like, they're all wonderful. But I've listened to them once on my main, and I've just recently played through it on this alt character. Now, it's been several months, mind you, since I've done so. So it wasn't as much of a pain to go through it a second time, because it's been a few months since my main has went through it. But I want to start leveling up my other characters as well, and I just don't think I can drag myself through Shadowfen again on either one, because they're both in Shadowfen, unfortunately. So there's really no variety there. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck. What do you guys think?
I would just do the main quest line in Shadowfen and get out of there as fast as I possibly can. And then just maybe grind some mobs or do something until you're equal level with the quest in Eastmarch.
Well,
that's probably what I would do.
Avi, you're the leveling man here. Like, in order to get through it, you want to do the main quest line. But how you I would notice I actually finished everything, every single thing, 100% completion of Shadowfen on my main and on my alt. Now, my alt was level 35 or 34, but when I entered Eastmarch, most of the mobs were level 31-ish or so. My other character, who got 100% completion, the one I was leveling with, Raxiel, my other Sork, my melee Sork, we did 100% completion on Stonefalls and 100% completion on Deshawn, but just did the main story, and I was 3 levels short. I was only 31, which is right in line with Eastmarch, but some of the harder content we weren't able to do because of the fact that, I was only 31, and even the the Halls of the Dead, the public dungeons, everything's 35. We were leveling together, so while it was tough, we were able to go through it. Do you think only doing the main storyline, you would be fairly low level for most of the mobs, though, as you start advancing through zones. How do you level up other characters? Because you have several VR ones or VRs.
That's exactly what I do. I mean, I don't go do every single quest, but as soon as I get taken into a different zone and I'm under level or I'm equally level and I want to be, maybe 3 or 4 higher level for the zone, so it's just a little easier and faster to get through. Yeah, I normally just grind mobs, but I never really have too much of a problem with grinding mobs that are 4 levels higher than me. Maybe it's because I play a really powerful Dunmer Dragonite, but it's that's normally how I do it. Like if I got to Eastmarch and I was just about 4 or 5 levels under, most likely I would just go try to find some mammoths or giants or I don't know what's in. I think that's the Rift, but you know what I mean. Find some big guys to try to take down until I gained a couple levels.
And how
But
quick is like? Can you
that's
tell me?
that's not that quick.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, another other things you can obviously do are just run some dungeons with people, or just pretty much do whatever you can do to get some XP, or even like you said, go into Cyrodiil for a little while and just play Cyrodiil till you get like level 35, and then back out and go to Shadowfen, knock out the main quest line there, then get and maybe some of the delves and stuff to get all of your sky shards, and then head out to Eastmarch,
Hmm.
something like that. And there's a lot of things. There's a lot of different things you can do. Normally for me, I just grind mobs though, and that's not the funnest way to do it.
Yeah, I don't mind grinding mobs because if I have to, I'll put on Netflix. I'll. There's things I can do to get around it. There's things I can do to distract me while I'm doing this. But obviously, I'm Ebonheart packed. I have 2 other characters, so I have the other factions, so that way eventually I will have a VR 14 on every faction, so I can do things with a bunch of people. But in reality, I'm Ebonheart packed, so that's where all my alts are. And also, to that extent, as I've already said this multiple times, um, I hope when housing comes out, your alts can hang out in your house. So if they're tied by faction, like all your same faction alts will just walk around your house and do random stuff. I don't know if they would do that, but I think it'd be really awesome. They would just be amazing. And speaking of amazing, and I'm just going to mention this right now, this game is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody in Guild, and they had just got a brand new laptop. I think it's Fireshade. Just got a brand new laptop, and for the first time, they got to put their game on ultra settings, and they were like, "This game is absolutely gorgeous." And what made me think about it is I'm sitting here in a river between the Kynes Grove and Fort Morvenskar. Sounds like a cheese. That little river that runs across, and I'm just looking at the water graphics, and they look gorgeous. Like absolutely, I'm just standing in the river looking at the water, and I'm just blown away. I know, I've been in here before, but I just find it insanely gorgeous just watching this crystal clear water run down this stony little riverbed with the snow all around, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
I completely understand what that guy is saying because I play this game on a very old laptop and my quality, mostly everything is set to low. I think I have,
Oh,
and my game looks like a painting. Let's say that
it,
right
it
now. Okay.
does. I
My my my
actually.
my game is pretty ugly. If you see my screenshots, I've had people message me on Twitter saying, "Is that ESO?" on my screenshots because my game looks pretty bad. So I feel for him when he says that he got a new laptop and he's seeing the game how it's supposed to look. I can't wait till I get to do that.
Well, that's one of the things that I've been doing is like when you see me on in the mornings, like if I'm logging in from my work laptop or whatever, just to check, what auctions or do something along those lines. Um, it the it was not my laptop was not designed for gaming at all. So therefore, it has to run everything on the absolute lowest settings. And after doing it on ultra, like on my PC versus that, I it looks like 2 different games, to be
Yeah, it's a
honest.
whole new game.
Um, when I'm on there, that's why I always tell people when I'm on there, I'm literally only doing very simple stuff because it just looks so bad. I just don't even want to deal with it. um, So yeah. Well, actually, you know what? What I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to log off of here and hop into Cyrodiil on my not off the podcast, but off my main character I'm playing right now, and hop on to see how Cyrodiil is. But so that's kind of where I'm at. I really want to try to keep them leveled together because as of right now, I have such a disparity between my characters. That I just want a bunch of VR1s so that I'm always earning champion points no matter what I'm playing. And I don't know. It's because I obviously want to play the game. I like progressing. I like doing my main, but since my wife can't play as much, my main character kind of has been sitting around. To an extent, I've been doing some stuff which I'll talk about shortly, but I'm just kind of playing around on her. So I play around on alts a lot, but I feel like I waste time because if they're not veteran ranked, they're not getting champion points, so they're not benefiting my main character. My main character gets champion points and benefits all my alts, but not the other way around. So I'm just trying to find the fastest way possible to hit VR1 on all my characters. So if you have a very fast way of hitting VR1, message, leave us a comment, let me know, because I really want to know. Give me some tips. So that was my alts, but this week I've been feeling insanely accomplished this week because on my main character, I downed the Serpent trial for on the first time on our very first try, thanks to a guild I'm in called Dreadlords. Thank you so much, guys, for bringing me along. I really appreciate that. But yeah, hopped in, did Serpent, got a clear on it. So that was really, really exciting. And I got to tell you, it's the Serpent trial. Like, these guys are pretty experienced. Truck just went by. These guys are really experienced. And I know I was the short link on that, but it got close a couple times. Like, it was even they said it was kind of a messy clear because when we were clearing it, the final boss almost wiped us. Like, there were 3 people alive, like 1 healer, 1 tank, 1 DPS, and they were running around trying to res everyone because we didn't have enough lives. Well, we probably would have had enough to do a wipe, but we wouldn't have had much. So we're running around just resing everyone to get everyone back alive again. But we did manage to down the Serpent trial, and that was really exciting. Like, I was shaking by the time we were done. I was very excited. So that was one thing that I had accomplished. The second thing is I got a clear on Dragonstar Arena. Not veteran, just normal, but still. It was with a pug. Just somebody I found in Zone Chat and Craglorn. We got a group together. We had a tank. I wish I could remember his name. I'm very sorry. But he is Boethia's Scythe, so he's finished veteran. So he said, I'll tank in normal. And he really great guy. Obviously, I had never finished it. The other guy had, and I don't know if our healer had, but we got a healer in there. I don't know if the person just rage quit or had like a power outage or something, but it would kind of suck because we went all the way up. We were on like turn 9, and their power like they just disconnected. We wiped once or twice on turn 9, which is the graveyard. And after a few wipes, he disconnected. And so we waited for a while, like 15 minutes or so, going, did he just disconnect or did he leave? Like, we were kind of like, come on, we're almost at the final boss. Don't leave us hanging here. But he never came back. So we're sitting there going, great, now we're just going to have to give up. But our tank happened to have a healer friend who was kind enough to come on and help finish off turn 9 and the final boss in turn 10. So that was very exciting. Very, very exciting. I liked it a lot. It was cool. Dragonstar was kind of it's a fun thing. It's kind of long though, and I almost want to say it almost feels a little repetitive. Like, I know it's a little different each time when the bosses are out, but the independent waves kind of feel repetitive. Asteldian, do you feel that way?
It can feel it feels repetitive when it's your first time, because it takes so long to do.
Okay.
When you're running it in just an hour or less than an hour, it doesn't feel so bad. But if you have wipes and stuff, it's like, oh, again.
I
And
guess,
it
yeah.
gets at you.
I guess I didn't even think about that. You're right. It was like now what really funny is we were talking about it going, have you guys ever done this before? Like the group, and I'm like, I've never finished it, but I've gotten up to the final boss, but I've never actually gotten up to the final boss in normal. Like I've never stepped into normal before. All my testing has been in veteran. So I got up to the final boss, but he rocked this. Now this was a while ago, so I don't know. Um, but we actually did down it, which was cool. And I got a master weapon. Not one I could actively use yet. I should take that back. I do have a character that I could use it on because my Imperial Templar is a tank because it's the master sword for tanking, and it has a defending trait. I think I linked that on the Dungeon Crawler Network Twitter, which was really cool. At least I think so. It. What do you, Asteldian? I know you were saying you had the master weapon, but it didn't have a good trait on it.
Yeah, mine's. Well, I can't remember what it is, but ideally, I'd want it to be in, defending.
Is defending a good one?
Well, I like it because it obviously gives the extra armor and spell resist, which is always nice.
Yeah.
I'd probably settle for an infused one as well, to be honest.
Okay.
But I mean, it breaks a set anyway, so I don't know if I'd ever use it.
Right. I see. I don't. See. I don't know. It's kind of. I haven't really actively thought about an item set for my tanking character, so I don't know if I would use it or not yet. But I mean, I obviously kept it. I actually upgraded it from blue to purple because I have lots of those things. So it's just easy to do. I don't know. Like, and obviously, if you know about veteran or Dragonstar Arena, if you complete it on normal, you only get a VR 13 version. The VR 14 versions are reserved for the veteran side. But even as a VR 13, if you get a good mat, like if it's part of your set, I would use it till you're, you need it, right?
Yeah.
Like till you get the better one, because I mean almost anything else, if that's part of your set bonus or whatever your final set is, even using the VR 13 one will suffice until you get a VR 14 because the bonuses on it are just too good to give up, right? Like it's a chance every time you do puncture it heals you or something along those lines, I think is what it does, which if you're a melee tank you do puncture fairly often.
Unless you're me.
Unless you're you. I mean, that's kind of like, well, obviously, that's like one of your main attacks, right? It like benefits the one-handed sword and board line. So that was really, really excited to actually to play with it. So I was very happy I got one.
If I was still a stamina-based tank, I'd use puncture a lot. But unfortunately, I don't, so I have to use the other a lot more. I use
gotcha.
Fire. But otherwise, yeah, if I was back to stamina.
Okay. Yeah, no, I got that. So that was really exciting. It was very exciting. I also got a VR 13 healer or Signet of the Healer, the ring.
Oh yeah.
Which was kind of nice because that ring sells for a good bit. Like we were comparing the auction prices and it sells for like anywhere from 20 to 30K or something like that, depending on where you're at. You might get it somewhere in the little, but it was actually still a nice little chunk of change. So I was like, oh, that'll work. You know what I mean? Like it was fairly decent. It was not a bad little chunk of change for something I wasn't going to use. So I threw that up on the auction house pretty much right, or the guild store right away. I said auction house. So that was definitely something that was really cool. And I was very, very excited to be able to actually do that. But those were my things that I had done, and I was very excited about doing that. And I'm looking forward to doing more. I'm actually only missing one trial right now. That doesn't include hard modes. Obviously, there's a few hard modes I can still do, but the I still have to do Hellra. I got up to the final boss, but the group I was with at the time, I can't remember if it was a pug or who it was. They weren't able to do it. Like, we just couldn't do it. So that was one thing we were looking at. So I need to do Hellra yet, but then I'll have all the trials and everything done. It's just the hard modes and the veteran DSA yet for all the current content. Then I'll be all caught up. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I still think there's a few veteran dungeons I haven't done yet, but comparatively, they're not as difficult as the vet DSA or hard mode Serpent trial, etc.
Yeah,
So,
that'll be easy.
yeah. So I'm excited about that. I'm very excited to be able to do that. I think that's about it for my gameplay, really. And but it's been a good week for me. Like, it's been a very good week, and I'm very, very thankful to the people who I went with, both the Dreadlords Guild for the Serpent trial, and of course also the pugs I was with. You guys know who you are, for taking me, because I really appreciate it. It was fun. We had a good time, and yeah, I mean, good times were had. So, and I got a few things done that I haven't had a chance. Do I want to do more? Absolutely. I really want to get a few more things done. I want to try to run with the Dreadlords Guild some more, and that's really my own fault for not actually getting on when they're on to do trials, because they do them very often. I always forget to look when their trials are going on, so therefore I miss going unless I happen to be on at the right time, and all of a sudden there they are. But I would definitely love to be able to go in and join them for some more trials. So that is my gameplay for this week, guys. Definitely was a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun. And I talked forever on gameplay. All right. Are we up to a point where we could do a community spotlight for an add-on?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Although actually, I guess the one I could talk about, I know talked about a long time ago, is FTC's just had a big facelift.
Oh, I actually just
Yeah.
downloaded that.
Me
Yeah.
too.
So I was just going to mention that one. I actually haven't got the updated version. I have issues with it. My wife updated the new FTC, and much cursing was to follow. There's a few teething problems with it, although Atropos is working well to sort them out. But basically, if anyone's familiar with FTC, even on my screen, the old version, you can see I've got the health magic and stamina bar at the bottom left corner, and it's got its own special targets. You can see percentages and health and everything like that. He's recently added group windows in and raid windows, which is the big change, I guess, is adding those in.
I think the group windows, I have it as well. The group windows are very nice to an extent, but I can't figure out how to turn them off.
That's the problem. I think he's fixed it now, but as of the time we downloaded it, if you turned them off, they kept turning themselves back on again.
Yeah.
So you were stuck with them.
If you wanted
was
to...
very annoying for my wife.
Yeah.
It's because we already had our own add-ons. And so we had our own windows. He has fixed it. You can now turn it on and off. He has a small group version and the raid one. I've left feedback that the raid one does my nut in because you can't customize how many people are in each row. So you get in a raid of 12 people, you've got one long ass row of people, just 12 different health bars, which kind of ruins the idea of where you want to put your health bars in your group, because for instance my wife has it on the right side, so it goes all the way down her screen and it's really in the way, and we can't seem to split it. I mean, maybe we didn't spend too long looking, maybe there is a way, but it didn't seem like there was, so hopefully he'll sort that out, because the big problem is now that he's fixed it, you can turn it off. When you turn off the group windows, it turns the default back on, So if you have another add-on which gives you your group windows, you end up having your group windows and the default on, and it's causing a bit of interference there. Now that's not exactly Adverpro's fault, to be fair, because if the other add-ons don't have an option that says turn off the default windows, well, it's not his fault. They haven't thought to put that onto their add-on, but it's his add-on that's causing that issue. In a way, I'm not sure how it works. Obviously, I have no idea about add-ons, but before the update, obviously that wasn't an issue because you have the group windows, and before the update, when I use other people's group windows, it's fine. But now that we've got the FTC one, when you turn off his, you get stuck with both the default and whatever other add-on you've got. So yeah, there's a few problems. He's been quick to update a few of them out. As I say, the not being able to turn it off was one problem, and hopefully he'll sort out the default one as well. Other than that, though, it does look nicer. I think he's used bigger print for the scrolling damage, but that can be changed back to the classic, I think. So obviously on my screen I've got fairly thin scrolling text going past, and the new one was a bit more like Combat Cloud, which was an interesting way to go because I actually don't like the Combat Clouds one. But as I say, I think there was a way of changing back to the old way for that. But it's just that group window, very nice addition, but has a few teething problems, which isn't a surprise because he never had it before, and now he's added it on. So
right,
I'm sure some trial and error to go around. So be warned, if you haven't done the update yet, I would keep with the old version until, because we're on version 0.64 at the moment. So maybe wait a little while, see if he's got a 6.5 and 6.6 coming out, and then you might be able to, or at least save your old version if you want to sort of pull it out, put it somewhere, and then you can always go back to it if you need to.
Yeah, my major issue with it is, like, I love the new group frames. I like the idea of them, but how I liked my original group frames because I'm a DPS, so maybe it didn't really matter to me. I didn't like the new ones so much. And I also I like to have the original health bars up. Like when the boss bar, I like to have it at the top of my screen and everything. But like if you used his frames, the player frames, it would go away. I liked having both. Like I liked having the player frames and the boss frame down right next to me, but I liked having them back up where they were. But the other issue was I knew that he had with the first add-on was you couldn't do both. Like if you turned off the player frames, it turned off group frames. Like there was no way of going, okay, I don't want the raid frames, I don't want the group frames, I just want the player frame. Like the last one, didn't have any of that, so if you wanted the player frames, you could have them. Now they all seemed bound together. So if you turned one off, they were all off. And that was an issue because I didn't want the raid frames. I didn't want the group frames. I just wanted the individual frames because the individual frames were perfect for me because it was enough that I could see my health, stamina, magicka, and I could see the enemy, and I was able to see debuffs, and I could move them the way that I wanted, so I could track my buffs and debuffs, and that's what I was using it for. Unfortunately, I couldn't, in the most recent one, while it does look better, everything looks a little cleaner, everything looks like it really looks good. There, like you said, there are some little minor issues specifically with certain areas, so hopefully they change that, because if I could get just turning on the individual frames only, I would that would be perfect, while still being able to keep the bar at the top of the screen. I just like having that big bar at the top of the screen when fighting bosses. I also like it next to me, but the one on the top, I don't know what it is. It's just personal preference. I like that bar at the top, kind of reminds me of like the old console games and some of the older games where it's like, hey, there's a big bar whenever a boss appears. Take it out. I like that. I like that a lot. And the frames, if you use the frames, it removed it, and I wasn't able to turn it back on. So
I think there was a way, because funny enough, the wife asked the same question, and I think there was a button I pressed, I think it might be at the beginning of the options, and it did come back on again. So you could leave it as use the default target frame or something, and you leave that on as well as using his.
Okay, maybe there is a way. I wasn't able to find it, but
I think it works because it was the same question. So I think we played around with it, and I did get that working.
Okay.
So yeah, so at the moment it is mainly just the group windows. I mean, I hate the default group windows anyway. So I'll happily use FTCs once it's working.
Okay.
Although I quite like the Awesome UIs one, but I don't like the original because just you get a really thin health bar, and they're pretty big considering the lack of little info you actually get on them, and I like the much more confined ones, kind of like the raid version. I prefer the raid version if I was in a small group. The default raid one looks fine, and I think it's been a long time since I've used it.
Nice. All right. Well, there it is, guys. FTC, Foundry Tactical Combat. I love it. I use it all the time. The update does look good, but as you said, there's just minor issues with it that need resolved. Okay. We also have to do a guild raffle and guild stuff. So I guess first things first. Do you have the raffle page still open?
I have the random.org page open.
Oh, okay. Well, then do you want to go ahead and do a random and pick the number, and I'll look at who the winner is?
Minimum 2, maximum is?
Maximum is... Oh, now I have to look. 76 is the maximum.
Ooh. And the winner is number 34.
34. 34 is... Yoshido88. Congrats, sir. Congrats. So Yoshido has won this week's guild raffle. I will make sure to send you the money really quickly. So congratulations. Remember, the next guild raffle starts right away, and we'll go from there. All right. Avi, guild.
Yeah, sure. Mortal Entity is a PvE-based guild for the Daggerfall Covenant on the North American mega server. Mainly, we're looking for veteran DC characters interested in doing some end-game content, though we accept members of all level. To join, you can message me in-game at Avi Optimal, or you can visit our website at mortalentity.gamerlaunch.com.
Excellent. And Asteldian.
Yes, Crucius Sanctorum on the EU mega server for Daggerfall Covenant on PC is still open for business. We now have 28 members, so we're still looking for a few more to obviously make sure we can guarantee our raids twice a week. Usually we get to 10 people pretty much every single sign up for a raid, and there's 2 people short. Sometimes we get them, sometimes we don't. So a few more people interested in raiding would be perfect for us. You can obviously contact me in game at Asteldian, or you can go to our website, which is the crucialsanctorum.engine.com, and then just apply there.
Excellent. All right. Well, that's our guild corner. We're going to go into our emails. We got a couple of them.
Ooh.
Yeah. First up, this one is for Asteldian from Chris. And I love your email, by the way. I'm not going to say it, but it's awesome. Okay. Old player returning to the game ESO now that is buy to play, and I listened to the podcast. I noticed there are no guides to the various armor skills and their morphs. I use the guides to help determine skills to build with, and wondering if there will be a write-up for it. Thanks.
Yeah, to be honest, I never really thought about it, because of course there's only the one skill for each armor line. Because all the passives you want, without a doubt. I could do, I suppose. It'd be pretty brief, but more in one go, just the 3 active skills, and have a look at the different morphs for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be easy enough.
You could also look at it in terms of which ones. I know there's certain ones that require a certain amount. Like if you're going for the Undaunted, I guess they're all just need 5 for a full set, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Because I know like the medium armor says with a full set, it doesn't say with 5, and all the other ones go with 5 or more.
Yeah, worth clarifying that as well, because that causes all sorts of confusion.
Oh, it did for me. I'm like, do I have to go full 7 medium to get this extra, 12% bonus damage? And it's like, no, it's actually registers with 5, but the wording on that's weird. But okay, yeah, why not? Cool. All right, next email is hi Aggelos. Hi. Following the latest Tales of Tamriel episode 67, he was live in chat. I have a couple of thoughts following the show. For housing trophies that you mentioned, I suggest you check out the Lotro system, and he gave me a a link to it. Lotro, how did Lotro do the housing? Do you got, or the, not the housing, the trophy system? It's I think it's, from what I was reading, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's very similar to the Dark Age of Camelot version, where when you down certain bosses, they dropped a carcass, and from that carcass you could take it to a taxidermist, and they would allow you to create an item that you could hook to certain areas in your house. Is that similar? Like, I'm only just starting to get into Lotro, so I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I've never played that game before.
I don't do housing.
Oh.
I did do the game though. I got to max level on it back in the day before it went free to play.
Okay, all right. You know, I think what kept me out of the game is I'm such a Tolkienite that I was so, like, I if they broke the lore, I'd have cried. But from what I hear, they do a pretty good job about not breaking lore. So
yeah, it was very good. It was just the gameplay itself I wasn't a big fan of, but no, they kept.
Oh,
the
I
lore
mean, it
stuff
is
pretty
7
well.
years old. It's actually pretty on par with other games of that time.
No, it was just the class and stuff I didn't really enjoy.
Oh,
the way
okay.
they played. Oops. Yeah,
I see. I
it was
got you.
decent enough game. I just didn't like the classes and the way they played. I didn't feel very heroic in it.
Oh,
To be
gotcha.
honest.
I got you. I understand where you're at now. Anyway, so that was very cool. I did look it up, and it reminds me of Dark Age of Camelot with the housing for trophies and stuff. Because I like the idea of trophies. Like, I do. Trophies are pretty awesome. Especially if they're kind of like a rare item that drop. They don't drop 100% of the time, but every once in a while they will. And then you're like, let's get it. Let's put it in the guild house or in our house or whoever's wins it. It's kind of neat. Regarding the detailed house customization you mentioned, suggest you check out the current Rift housing, as I suspect their system is very similar to what you had in mind or describing on the show. Which it is actually. I watched that afterwards, and I know I was talking about some of these other games, but that dimension system is very much exactly. You go in, you get the tools, you can move things around. Dimensions is wonderful. I would love to see something similar to Dimensions within ESO in order to, for gear, or not for gear, for housing, to be able to move furniture around. It's very, very neat, and I like that a lot. And then he was mentioning about this was the person who, it's Mingza, so awesome. He was mentioning about me forgetting, so thank you for reminding me. I sent him an email, and we obviously announced the winner. So, and obviously Blood for the Pack. So Mingza, thank you so much for your email. We appreciate that. All right. Final thoughts, guys. Avi, why don't you go ahead and go first?
Oh man, this was a really good episode. Had a lot of fun doing it, and it's back to ESO for me.
Man, what's this back to? I'm still in game.
Oh my goodness. Yes, you're making me anxious to want to click play on my game and get in there.
I know you're sitting there, it's on your screen, up, play. Yeah. I actually went into PvP on my night, and I don't know. I mean, I was thinking it might be somewhat beneficial because I do need to farm points. But on the non-vet campaign, it just, you don't get that many. I feel like you don't get very many points, like either alliance points or anything. I don't know if it's nerfed because you're killing lower. I don't know. Like, I just feel like I'm not getting many alliance points. Maybe that's just me and I'm not doing it right. And I did follow like a fairly big group and we were killing lots of stuff. I just don't feel like I got a lot. I got a level though. Asteldian, why don't you give me your final thoughts?
Yeah, we managed to milk that for another 2-hour session. That was quite impressive, given the thin news we're still getting. In comparison,
we had a lot of
weeks,
gameplay this week. It was good.
That's very true. Yeah. In a couple of weeks, though, obviously after E3, hopefully we'll have some new stuff to talk about. But still, it was always fun sitting around just talking any old nonsense throughout the episode. Hopefully, people enjoyed listening. And watching me die horribly. That was bad even by my standards in PvP. I won't lie.
Nice.
And my new experimental build did not go so well. Terrible, in fact. Maybe I'll give it another go when I'm not streaming, but it definitely was not working.
It went so bad, I'm embarrassed. Because actually, I wish I could remember, but somebody just mentioned in chat, is this the build you have on your website? Maybe?
No, kind of. It depends which part you're watching.
Bigglesworth says just spam heals
Yeah.
and the AP will come. I think that's something I think I need to just swap my Templar over to healer for when I do PvP and just sit there and healing springs everything. That's it.
Yeah, I'll do the trick.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to end up doing to help farm some stuff. In any case, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that was our show. I am Aggelos, of course, and you can find all of us over at dungeoncrawlernetwork.com. You can find us on YouTube as well, Dungeon Crawler Network. You can find us out there. Definitely give us your thoughts as well. I think this was a really fun show. I was really excited about it, and yeah. So thank you for my co-host for coming out and joining me. Thank you, chat room. Chat room, you were wonderful this evening. Very active, very awesome. I like it. Make sure you come back next week. All right. Everyone have a good night.
Good night, all.
You just listened to another episode of Tales of Tamriel, a Dungeon Crawler Network production. If you want to get involved, please be sure to check out our website at www.dungeoncrawlernetwork.com. Please be sure to follow us on our social media and YouTube channels. We can be found on Twitch at twitch.tv/dungeoncrawlernetwork, on Twitter at dungeoncrawlnet, and at Tales of Tamriel, and on Facebook at facebook.com/Tales of Tamriel podcast. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you next time.